Okay, beautiful people. In studio with us, we have the man, the myth, the legend, former lineman from Valley City State University turned financial planner with Red River Financial, Ryan Botner. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning.
Hey, man, awesome to have you in studio with us, but I know that the listening audience knows maybe a smidge or nothing about you. So tell us about where you're from, how you ended up in Fargo. Tell us about your family, all those beautiful things.
All right, in that order?
Yes, please.
Originally, I was from Litchfield, North Dakota.
That is any stoplights in Litchfield?
There's no stoplights.
Okay.
I think 2 stop signs.
Okay.
And
But that's more stop suggestions than stop signs, right?
Yeah, maybe they're more yield.
Perfect.
The population sign actually says more or less. There's no actual number. I graduated with 18 people in my high school, and I was number 16 on the wrong side. But I was able to go to college just because I'm big enough to play football.
Excellent.
And Valley City State, met my wife about a year in after I was came to Fargo and started working with an insurance company here, and just fell in love with the financial services industry.
So you jumped into the financial services industry, and then now you started with another company. Now you've opened up your own thing. For people who don't understand what you do, because like you're a friend, and I work with you, and I still don't always know what you do. So what exactly do financial services entail?
A lot of different spectrum. The beauty of what my business is that you can specialize in lots of different areas, whether it's 401k book of business, investments, insurances. I've really specialized in 2 different things, which is we've been working with business owners and also the medical community. So that's really what we specialize in, helping medical schools, education, physicians transitioning into their practices, and then business owners, whether it's keeping, retaining, and recruiting key employees, and also helping them transition out of their practice or their business long term.
Now, Ryan, there's a little bit of me that says, why in the world would I have a financial services person on real estate radio? Because I want people to invest in real estate, right? And I do invest in real estate, and I put my mouth where my money is, and I make sure that I'm investing both as somebody who owns a home and then have investment properties as well. But I've diversified, and I've invested some money into everything from IRAs to retirement accounts to life insurance policies and that sort. So let's take all that information aside, and which should somebody invest in, real estate or you?
A lot of my clients are big real estate investors,
Okay.
Even just like yourself. So
Good. Let's hear that, everybody. The investor. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
and the reason that is because, if you really think about the majority of the net worth, if you go down the Forbes list, the majority of the guys on there, gals, are real estate people, right? So, that's
how Buffett made his
exactly.
billions, right?
Yeah. And so whether it's starting off in sales just like you did, or having land that was in your family or whatever it may be,
Right.
Real estate obviously is a big part of the investment world. So what we really try to specialize in is helping people form a team, whether it's your CPA, your attorney, financial planner, property casualty insurance person, just making sure that you're organizing your life to make sure that that you don't specialize in everything. You have people around you that you trust.
I asked that last question with a little bit of tongue-in-cheek because I actually believe that you need to diversify and not have all your eggs in one basket. And investing in a house is a good thing. But sometimes people don't have the money for another house, and you shouldn't just have houses. I think you do need to have some other things across the board. And so you talked about this team. Slow down and help me understand who would be the key players on this team.
First and foremost, if you're going to look at buying a house, you probably want to talk to a banker or mortgage consultant just to make sure that you can get approved, and that when you start looking at houses, that it's going to be in your price range, right? Same thing, whether it's investing in real estate. I have a lot of clients that have a house and they say, I want to get into rentals or whatever it may be. Well, what do we know about rentals, right? How do we know about who's going to manage it and everything else? So just putting some thought into it.
But Ryan, what about a team if I want to start investing my wealth into IRAs and 401ks and life insurance and all these things? You talked about the importance of having a team. Who makes up a team? If I want to invest with you, who else do I need to be talking with?
Probably first and foremost would be a CPA.
Okay.
right? Is especially on the IRA side of things, 401k, they're going to be able to help you to say, okay, here's how much your income is, here's how much you're allowed to be able to defer into retirement accounts, right? Because there's limits on how much you can, and if you have a 401k or a 403b at work, you can only do a certain amount outside of that because they're limited on how much they're allowing you to put into it. Like for instance, 401k is $18,500 this year, as far as how much you can defer into that. And then if you make too much money, you can actually do a separate IRA on top of that. So you just want to be understanding how much you're allowed to put in to other sides of things.
Again, folks, just tuning in, we have Ryan Botner with Red River Financial here in studio with us. And this is a fascinating thing because everything you're talking about, Ryan, is like unique to an individual, right? Like it depends on the line of work you're in and your tax bracket, and it depends on where you want your money to go. My thought is this, is that a lot of people have the action of inaction when it comes to investing, right? Like they see this and they're like, well, that doesn't fit for me, so I'm just not going to do anything, and I'm going to keep it in a money market where I get like a 0.5% return on investment, right?
Right. And the biggest thing that I try and do is simplify, right? I mean, keep it as simple as possible, because I feel if you have too much information or you get too confused, you get paralyzed and you do nothing. Right. Which is the absolute worst thing that you can do is, I mean, literally keep your money into, just a savings account or a checking account or under your bed, because now you have inflation working against you, right? Inflation over the last 20 years has been 3%. So if you're making 1%, you're actually losing money.
God, that is a brutal slap in the face, isn't it? And so if I have, let's say that I'm Joe Blow, I'm making $100,000 a year, having a great life, making $100,000 a year as a household, my wife and myself combined, and we want to tuck away $10,000. Can you give me a one-size-fits-all, like this is the best way to go? Or is it better to say, until we know your exact plan, we got to get more information?
And a lot of times what we do is we'll give like a profile request to say, okay, I want to do a fact finder to get to know you and your situation. I need to know where you and your spouse, if you both have jobs, what benefits you have through there, what options you're already taking advantage of, if there's matches through your 401k or 403b or whatever it may be, and just trying to get to understand a situation. And then from there, I can come back with recommendations.
Okay. So the answer is no, you can't give me a one size fits all.
Yeah,
right? I mean,
there's no Dave Ramsey approach to this.
Well, and that's an intentional leading question, because I think that right now, folks, if you're listening, and Ryan, we appreciate you being in studio, is you can't take this advice right now and say like, okay, now here's my call to action. I think your call to action, if you have one, is start talking to your CPA, find a financial planner, whether it be Ryan or somebody else. Understand that you could be losing money each year if you're chucking away into a savings account or a money market account. And it's not because they're having money dissipate, but instead simply, you said, Ryan, what inflation is 3% over the last 20 years?
Yeah.
And a lot of those appreciate 1 or 1.5%. So that's a brutal reality, man. What's your favorite thing about what you do? Because I know that you get to meet people all the time. You get to deal. And I mean, you're a professional gambler. You take people's lives and you gamble with them. And so, dear Lord, that scares me a little bit. And yet what a great thing, because I know you take that responsibility seriously. What's your favorite thing that you get to do with your work?
I mean, the beauty of what I do is, I mean, I get to choose who I want to work with, right? That's a big thing. But then, work with people that have the same values, and goals, and similarities that I do. And I mean, being in this business for 13 years, you can specialize in what you want. So like, especially with Red River, we have, 12 advisors just here in Fargo. Everybody's a little bit different. For instance, my partner, Josh Bach, he specializes with retirees in the distribution side, where I'm more with accumulation side of things. So everybody's a little bit different in what they work with. Once again, personal relationships is everything. That's why you and I are successful, because we understand personal relationships and connecting people. And that's really my favorite part of this.
Well, Ryan, you were a people person. I know you downplayed and said you were 16 of 18 growing up in your class, but you are a shining star now in this community, and we're thankful to have you and somebody who's working hard for people. So if anybody's tuning in and they want to learn more about financial services, or if they want to start planning on making money instead of losing money, how do they get in contact with you?
So we have a website, Red River Financial Group, or I always answer my cell phone, which is 701-840, still Valley City number 1097, and I have a team of about 7 staff people, that are more than happy to be able to take on any calls as well. Red River Financial Group, 701-232-3888.
Ryan Botner, good to have you in studio with us. Folks, I encourage you, whether it's Ryan or somebody else, let's get smart with your money. Put it in the right place and not in the wrong places anymore. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.